save it. All right. Hey, welcome to Lone Star Sumo. We're doing another episode of Sumo and Sake. I'm Caleb Backus.
I'm Justin Kizard.
We're here to talk about the November tournament. The November tournament, usually my favorite, the last one of the year. Usually my favorite because my boy Takeshi kicks butt in November. We will get to that later.
Yeah.
I want to start first. I mean, we usually start Jurio, but I want to start first with the guys that surprised me, because there's a couple guys who I thought was going to end up in Jurio after this tournament who I think saved themselves. Number one is the one that most people think of, Tochonioshin.
Yeah.
He missed the first 4 days.
Yeah.
He came back, got, I think, 6 or 7 wins.
Well, didn't he missed the first 3 days?
He missed the first 4. He had 3 games, because you know that first one when you drop out, they count as just a regular loss. Mm-hmm. And the next 3 they counted as whatever they count that when you miss that. Kojo, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm bad with
Kujo.
Like the dog. All right. So he came back and won, like, I'm pretty sure 7 victories, and maybe even 6, but still 6 or 7.
He got 6 because on day 15 he got dropped. So he got 6.
You're right.
Yeah, 6, 6, 3.
Yeah. So with that, he should probably stay. He's going to drop, but he's probably going to stay in Division 1, keep his rank, and that means I don't think he's going to retire. Because I keep thinking, and I don't know the guy, but I keep thinking if he drops out, he's probably going to be done at that point.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to get one more tournament.
And I think, I give much respect to anybody who is off a few days and still comes back into the tournament. Of course, I love Hakuho, but someone who is like, oh, I have a even if it's a minor injury or whatever, and they're just like, I'm just out the whole tournament. So I give props, and I feel like it should almost be like half losses against them for actual injury days if you actually come back with a fighting spirit and fight hard, and I mean to pull 6, even just to pull 6,
especially when you're 4 down before you even start.
Yeah. Like, much respect. I say it every time, I'm not a huge Tochonioshin fan, but I'm a fan of any wrestler that can pull themselves up and actually pull some wins out.
Yeah, and my other person I want to talk about, surprisingly, who also I'm sure with 7 wins survived, and then I'll get to why I think he survived, is Kaisei. Kaisei is also not one of your favorites. I mean, we talked about when we first started watching Sumo, how I love his technique, and you're like, he's a little slow off the line. It's like, yeah, but the way he comes up with his arms, his head, 3 points all the time, he's pretty technique.
I enjoy him, and I say it every time, I enjoy him because I can tell he's a nice guy.
He is a really nice guy.
Like, every single time. I mean, even, he fights hard, but, he looks back and it's just like, oh, they need any help? Kind of thing. Time. He seems like, he's just, to him, I don't know that I see the kind of fire that I see in some young people, but it seems almost like it's a job to him, like that he happens to be good at, and his focus is on his his family and things like that. Again, I don't know the guy, but the energy it gives off, this is what I do, but it's not everything to me, and I don't know.
We talked about it last time. It feels like when we were talking about retires, we were talking about both those guys. We thought Coach may have lost his physical ability to keep going.
Yeah.
And Kaisei may have lost his fighting spirit where he just doesn't really want to.
And I think, like you said, either of those guys, they're on that edge of, do I still have it? And as long as they're getting that top level salary, that's the most important thing. And I feel like Kaisei would keep fighting for his family. I don't think he's fighting for himself anymore. And if he were to drop in salary, then he probably has to think about other things.
So yeah, we'll both agree that both those guys, if they drop out of the top division, they might be done. And I mean, they're both in the mid-30s and stuff. And the reason why, even though he's 7'8" and he's at M17, the reason why I think he saved his position is because of this. There are some people ahead of him who had terrible freaking tournaments, like 2 to 4 wins. And there's also, you're going to have 2 free spots anyway, because Hakuho was on this card already. Even though he retired, in retiring time for them to take him off.
Right.
And your boy, who shall not be named at the moment because he's not around, will not be. He will not be in the top division anymore after this tournament. He's going to be dropping down too. So that's 2 free spots. That plus those other guys, I think, saved him. I think he's still going to be M17. I think he's just going to stay there. That's my belief. Even with the 7 and 8. Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, you never know. With Bunzuki, you never fucking know.
This is true. That is true.
But that's what happened.
But you are correct. There are some slots to fill. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm thinking about 3 or 4 guys are going to.
If they had to pick someone to drop down, unfortunately, Shohozan, old Yakuza man, had a.
I'm not telling him about it. Why you call him that?
He looks like a Yakuza boss. Like he looks like a straight brawler. Like I would be scared of him if I met him.
Yeah, he's like the guy in the movies where they take on the Yakuza.
Yeah.
And like he takes off his thing, he has the tattoos on the back.
Yeah.
That's how you imagine.
That's straight up Shohozan, and he fights like it too. He fights like a brawler.
He's 37. And he fights hard like that. My lord.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but day 15, I mean, dude just straight blasted himself. His whole he got hit straight in the head. If you see it, if you watch the slow motion, he definitely broke his nose. Like I saw the moment that head hit, and his nose kind of looked a little sideways, and then just the sea of blood started coming out. That was
insane.
I hate to see him get injured. I hate to see people get injured, but
when you fight through the pain to get a win, though, it's always amazing.
Yep.
Because we all would love to have that kind of willpower, like just to forget about the pain, just long enough to win.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a few that brawl like that. They're just brawlers like Chiyonokuni, who's still in, and old school who he retired maybe 2 years ago. Yoshikaze. I mean, you could see his face was all beat up. Like he just constantly is getting his face pummeled. Like, and I think he retired about 2 years ago. But he was one that I was always entertained. Wasn't the best sumo, but you were always like, what's he gonna get into now? Like, I don't know.
So, Justin, tell us about this. Since we are sumo and sake, tell us about this sake we're drinking today.
All right, today we've got it's called Kurosawa, and it's done in what's called the Kimoto method, which is kind of an old school style of making sake. I think only about 3% of Japan's sake breweries still do the Kimoto method, and it's a way that they naturally create lactic acid through a lot of vigorous pressing or swirling or whatever.
Yeah, like the foot stomping one.
Yeah, with like old school wooden oars and stuff. It's really good. It's very very rustic and very bold. So if you're the type that likes your light, super light sake, this is probably not for you because this one is a great explosion of flavor.
Yes, it is. It's a great explosion. And it's still smooth. It still doesn't burn or hurt on the way down. It's like a very smooth taste.
Yeah.
With all that flavor. So I'm really excited about this. I like this a lot.
You can pick this one up at Central Market.
Okay, so let's move on. We skipped Juryo. I want to touch on lightly because there's a few people I think are going to move up. First, I'd just like to say, when Enho has a month off. Yeah, he comes back and looks good. I'm not sure how many wins he had because I haven't seen day 15, but he did good.
As of day 14, he was 8. He had his 8.
Yeah, so I mean, he looked really good too because even his losses, he looked like he was wrestling again.
Yeah.
So he must have held up, and that's great.
Yeah.
One of my
he didn't
favorites.
have a great start though. But
he didn't. But
yeah, he got his 8. That's all I care about.
He had a nice run there in the middle. It was great.
Yeah.
In fact, there's one point that I thought he might have actually had a run because he only had 2. Because he had the first 2 losses, but then he had no losses.
And then he just boom. Yeah.
So I was thinking at one point, if he's only 1 behind the leader, let's just keep going, man. And then he had a few losses at that point.
Yeah.
Happens. But my boy Ichi, I think he's going to get moved up in the top division again. Ichi Yamamoto. Ichi Yamamoto. Yeah. I'll get it one day. I'm just going to call him Ichi most of the time.
It's fine. That's what I'm here. Correct his Japanese.
I love his style because his style, as we've talked about, and we're going to use this to get into our discussion of Abi. His style is like Abi's, but more technically sound.
With his feet on the floor.
Should be. Without leaning so far forward.
Yes. Yeah. Abi got, well, we'll get into Abi, but Abi got...
Let's get to Abi now.
All right. I mean, so, since we started this thing, I haven't, Abi's been out, so you guys haven't had my opinion on Abi. But between him and I over the years, Abi is, like, I have always been, let's say it, fairly disgusted by Abi's style. Back when when he was at the top level before all the controversy and the stuff that got him knocked down, it didn't work. And really, it worked on a few guys in the lower level, but all the upper, all the Sanyaku rank guys, knew how to handle him. I will say that I respect that he has stuck to a style and through his trials and tribulations has learned how to master it. I could tell that he's gotten a lot beefier. He used to be more like, he looked a little bit like longer, lanky. I mean, he is long and lanky, but it's gotten, he's beefed up in the shoulders and the pecs. So he's obviously saying he's committed himself to this style, and it works. Like I'm not a fan of him, but I also do respect, when something works. And so the fact that he was able to push, number one, beat Takakeisho. Because if I was a betting man, all my money would have been on Takakeisho, and I probably would have lost. Because you got two pushers. I can tell who's a lot more sound. That was nuts. The winds of the sumo gods were aligned his way this tournament.
Well, the way we were talking about in 15, though, he was killing the lower M-ranked people, and that got him momentum. Momentum's a big thing.
Yeah.
Momentum, when you start winning and you just think, oh, I'm just going to keep on winning, that helps.
Yeah, it snowballed for him. It snowballed for him. And he was just like Takakeisho on day 15. He, with that style, was able to move Terunofuji back.
Yeah.
He was on the cusp of beating Terunofuji, with just a pushing style. That says a lot.
But I also want to go to why I still don't like the guy. He still is too far forward. He's still on the balls of his feet. And he didn't actually lose to Terunofuji as much as he beat himself. He had Terunofuji on the thing, on the Tawara. He had him. And then you see him just fall down. When Terunofuji pushed back, it wasn't even like a move or anything. Terunofuji took a step.
No, he just had no footing.
He had no footing. He just fell down.
Terunofuji, and actually, what's his name? Abi was in the best position to win. Had he stepped outside of just his pushing style and actually, even use his hips to knock his waist forward, he had Terunofuji up under the armpit on one foot. Yeah,
and went up.
But as soon as Terunofuji pulled his weight back at him, he kind of crossed his feet over, and he was staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, if he was flat-footed like this should be, it wouldn't have been that easy to get him. He would have stayed up, and I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Now that he's back in the top ranks, he had a great first showing. I'm going to assume that everybody learns how to adjust. They'll look at at his losses and adjust to a straight pusher, a long-armed pusher back in the top ranks. And I hope he learns how to evolve. Because he's got those arms. There's no reason why he lost to Terunofuji.
Yeah, he had to win.
Yeah.
He should have had to win.
Yeah.
But he's got problems. He's got problems with his technique, and that's what we're talking about. I would like to bring up what you brought up the day before that, day 13. He had that match with Keisha. And there was a Goji who, we'll just go to the match right before that match. I believe it was Meisei and somebody. And Meisei came off and looked like he won the Tachi 2 or 3 times. And he kept getting called Mana for, I don't know what the reason is. I'm not there. He's an expert, so I'm guessing he's calling him right. but it looked like they were coming off at the same time. It looked like everything was fine. They kept coming on like 3 times, and then by the 4th time, Meisei just didn't come off because he was like,
it upset his rhythm.
And then he got beat. Yeah. And then the very next match was Abi and Takesho.
Yeah.
And on that first Tachiai, Takesho did what he tries to do. He slipped underneath the big arms, hit him right in the chest, Abi right in that chest, and then Mata. And I was like, oh, I cussed out loud hard right then.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the next one, he did not get underneath the arms. And
it breaks your flow.
Abi won that thing. And I'm not, maybe they didn't come off at the same time. He, like I said, he's right there in front of him. And he's an expert.
Which is, yeah, they're the Gyojis are experts, but at the same time, it's just weird. Some things they let go, and some I don't know if like certain Gyojis have like we don't know behind the scenes, like maybe they have it out for somebody or whatever. But I've seen Gyojis let go. Like if you watch it in slow, like if you watch certain matches, I think it was like day 4, somebody in slow motion, like. A good 4 inches of hovering, off the ground, didn't even touch, and lets it go. But then with other ones, he's a stick. The certain Gyojis are a stickler. I think it's I don't know the Gyoji's name, but he's like a real stickler for the Tachiai. He's just got a bit more of a rounder face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find his name, but he's like a stickler for Tachiai, and he's just kind of a dick in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, what you can do.
We'll get back to you with the list of, and we should have at least a list of names of the top Gyojis.
Probably find that pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I would like to also bring up the winner, because it's Yokozuna's first 15-0 U show. I
will say, we were talking about this earlier. Just like I was a little nervous because Terunofuji's got, he's had knee injuries and I think we got really comfortable with Hakuho. Like we just, that he was Sumo and that was it. And then, so I kind of had like I don't know, how do you say, I didn't have a lot of high hopes for Terunofuji. I thought, cool, he's Yokozuna. He's probably going to get injured, in a couple of tournaments. He has won me over. I feel very comfortable that the throne he's keeping the throne very warm, and that crown fits.
My thing was expectations have gone up with Yokozuna's. Because a lot of fans have just come in either during the Hakuho era or during the Mongolian era anyway, or anytime recently, because most of the time, like when I came in the 90s, most Yokozunas had 6 to 8 shows in their entire career. Mm-hmm. And if you had like 10, like Akebono, Musashimaru, who had 11, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic record. But then we had Taka getting 24, I think. Taka no Hana, and then we had Shuru getting 23.
That's Hosoyru, yeah.
And then we had the insane 45. And so now people just have this higher expectation, which I don't think people are going to meet, guys.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
We're going to have to get comfortable. That a person like Hakuho comes once in a 50 years, or we could be doing this damn thing in our 80s and then finally find the newest
yeah.
And then we'll be like, none of you guys remember Hakuho, but back in the day.
Yeah, there is no other Michael Jordan basketball.
Yeah.
There is no Wayne Gretzky in hockey. There is no Hakuho that we're gonna see anytime soon.
He's out there. Maybe he hasn't even been born yet.
He'll show up at some point.
But at some point, but don't we can't put that at the same bar as Hakuho. And so I feel I'm comfortable with Terunofuji. I'm a little nervous about his knee, his injuries, but he is like taking on this Yokozuna presence. Like his look when he wins is like, of course I should have won. And that means everything.
Yes.
Versus someone like Shodai.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna rag on him every single time.
Go nuts on Shodai.
Every single time. If he wins, it almost looks like he's like, oh shit. Oh, I actually won.
Yeah.
He has
you see him
literally
release breath, like a big sigh when he gets his 8.
Oh.
It's like, oh, I got an 8. Okay.
He's just he's one of those people who just fail upwards and in life, and I just it's written all over his face, and I just don't know how to respect that. He pulls crazy wins off. He is technical, but he's nowhere near Yokozuna, and I don't think he's Ozeki material. He's one of those ones that I call, he's like an elevator, an elevator person or a floater who should be bouncing up and down in the Mayagashita ranks.
But isn't because of that really good run he had for 3 tournaments.
Yeah. He's a Mayagashita dude. I'm sorry.
He got there, he's getting his 8, he's doing it.
Respect
for that.
I feel like even him, he's just like, woo.
It's a spirit thing,
I won that one.
Because when he comes off and hits on the Tachi, he wins easily. He looked like Ozeki then, but you see that 2 to 3 times the entire tournament.
Yeah.
When he comes off and hits people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the time he doesn't hit them, and then he has to make some cool reversal at the edge.
Yeah. And, you guys, feel free to leave a comment down below.
You don't have to agree with us.
You don't have to agree with us. You can rag on us all we want. Maybe you're a Shodai fan. I get it. But, that's just, we're just 2 people, and, you guys are like hundreds of people. So, I don't know.
So, speaking of spirits, talk to us. Give us your Justin Kizzard's Spirit
Award.
Bring it out for us, man.
All right. So, my Spirit Award, which I cannot believe I'm saying this. But it's inevitable. My Spirit Award goes to Abi.
Oh.
He just really had a fighting. Oh, I almost want to pour some out for that. But he killed it. The Sumo God Fire was just in him this tournament. He could totally fucking flop, next tournament. But for this Basho, he was the man.
Yeah.
He was definitely the man.
That hurt me. That hurt. I see why you said it.
Yeah.
But it hurt.
I know. All right.
So, now that we went through the Spirit Award, I'm going to go with the Caleb Backus match of the Basho.
Caleb Backus match of the Basho.
So it actually changed. So I'm going to bring up my original one until day 15. I had an original one, and it was Terunofuji versus Ichinojo. Because Ichinojo normally just gives up as soon as he loses that Tachi to Terunofuji. He's just like, okay, I lost Tachi, I'm done.
Yeah.
This
That's
one
why we call him Snorlax.
Yeah. For some reason, he was like, I'm going to fight. I think he got mad that people kept saying that. It was true. It was true, Itchy. It was true.
Snorlax.
But he came out and he hit. Even though he had a terrible tournament, that fight was intense. It was back and forth, knocking the crap out of each other. The way friends should wrestle each other. Like they say, well, they're friends. And I'm like, no, you don't take it easy on your friends. You go hard on your friends, then you go on your worst enemy. You go hard on your friends because you want those bragging rights.
Yep.
And that's what happened this time. It was exciting. And that was going to be my match until day 15. The very last match.
That's actually a good one.
The Terunofuji versus Takakeisho, who, I want to say this right now. I keep seeing online people saying stuff like there are no more rivalries. In my opinion, Takakeisho,
that's a new rivalry.
And Terunofuji has had a rivalry since November of last year. It's been a whole year. In that year, they have met each other 3 times last November and then 2 in the summer, I believe.
Yeah.
Where they were like the last day, that was it. And twice that went to playoffs. And once it was taken by Takakeisho and twice it was taken by Terunofuji. And even when they're not, like this one, holy crap.
You could see the, those were 2 alpha you know,
Just
screw the titles. This is me and you. That was intense.
They hit
That
each
was
other.
intense.
They were looking at each other at some points.
Takakasho said, you feel my charge. And he even stood up, which I wish he hadn't. But they were in the heat of the battle, and he was just like, I dare you to come forward on me. And both of them froze. I have only seen that level of cockiness with Hakuho, where it was like, come on, you know. that was a mistake, but it was a cool moment. I've never cheered for Takakasho. He's a huge fan of Takakasho, and I respect. But I respect. He gives off Yokozuna energy. He has potential of being Yokozuna. He does give off Yokozuna energy.
It's just the health thing is the only issue. His health thing.
Wait till my boy Asanoyama comes back.
My problem with the match with Takakasho, like you said, he was a little cocky. My cockiness problem was he hit Terunofuji so hard at one point.
He stone cold hit that.
Terunofuji went all the way back, and I think Takakasho went, I won, and didn't follow up. And then Terunofuji stopped right at the Tawara, and Takakasho was and followed up. At that point, it was too late. He got to reset himself.
But he was like, yeah, Terunofuji, you're strong, but feel this. He fucking he haunted him.
Oh, he did.
He haunted him back.
Just went back. You're right, like a video game. Oh, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was my match. That was my match of the Basho.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah, so it was more than Abi getting Spirit Award.
Okay,
No,
you can feel good about that one.
I get it.
I had to suck my pride down and say, who just shined this tournament? And it was Abi. You might never hear me say this again, but it was. I was just like, well, this kid is on fire. And then I see him go against Terunofuji, and I was like, aha, this is where he gets taken down.
Yeah.
And yet he's still,
Yeah, his other loss too. He was too far on his toes, and he was too far forward. Yeah. Problems. So I want to talk real quick about rivalries because we talked a little bit about the one Terunofuji and Takakasho because they were 4-4 the other day, and now Tero has the lead at 5-4, so that's cool. That's freaking awesome. And that's not. I don't think that's counting playoffs, which that'd be a whole other thing. But yeah.
I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd say the January tournament, Takakasho will beat Terunofuji.
Yeah, I think.
Let's look back at the tapes.
Yeah,
but
it might actually start his run if he ever gets it. It might be this year.
I think he wants to start. He wants to start in a fresh year. He
still has to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big problem.
You guys check back and let us know. I'm telling you, I'm saying it right now.
Did we look
Takakasho will beat Terunofuji in the January tournament at the start of the year.
The other rivalry that we've talked about in the last episode, and I want to just bring it up again, is Wakatakage versus Hosoyru. They, again, had a fantastic match. And I believe Waka is two shots up. I think it's 4-2 at this point. I love them. They both had losing records. I think they both had 7, but I'm not sure. No, Waka had 8.
Yeah, Waka got his 8.
And then it was 7
15.
Yeah.
Hosoyru did not.
Yeah, he got 7.
Yeah.
But so that's not a huge drop, though, or a huge jump. It's going to be, they're still going to be close. They're still going to hit each other next time. And like I said in the last one, it's going to be mid next year where they have their runs. I swear. Second or third tournament next year is when they're going to start. And hopefully by the end of next year, they're going to be high up in the top ranks and just be there.
I believe so.
Yeah, they're just so good.
And speaking of Hosoyru, if I could give a technique prize, it would have to go to him. He's pulling some crazy moves. I mean, obviously, he was the last tournament guy. He broke the internet with his move, but Hosoyru
Enho copied almost.
Yeah. I'm hoping that he is learning from Hosoyru. That would be great. If Enho could take on more of Hosoyu's style too.
A little bit. Well, little bit. Gain some weight. That's still gonna be his big issue.
Yeah.
If he can get 220, 230, he's going to kill people. Right now, at 205 or wherever he is, it's just not going to happen.
He needs like a dietitian or something.
Yeah, if he does not like eating your normal Rikishi food,
fun fact,
find something.
he doesn't actually, Enho doesn't like eating
rice.
hot foods
rice or rice.
Which
he doesn't like to eat rice.
And he's Japanese. I don't
Japanese.
know.
Rice is delicious. I don't care who you are.
Seriously.
It's so good. It's up there with mashed potatoes is like the best side dishes. Rice or mashed potatoes. Those two things are amazing.
I don't know. What does he like more? Winning or
Hey, the picky eater. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. You gotta force feed him.
So so next tournament we will try to get a preview out. I've started class. At 42 I started school again, so we didn't get a preview this time. And so hopefully we'll get next time. I'm really hoping sometime in December I will have time to come up here and we have our Hakuho episode, which we're a little late on, but I really want to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll try January to have a preview and the post of the next Basho.
Okay.
All right. And it looks like we're almost done. I'm almost done.
Yeah. We're done.
So we appreciate you coming and joining us. And we hope to see you again at Sumo and Sake.
Cheers.
Cheers. Killed it.
All right.